Welcome back, everyone. So in this lesson, we are just going to add some finishing touches to our blog code. So in our index.js, we currently need to sort the actual blog posts themselves so that their order is more based on the date, having the latest be the ones at the top. Now, how we can do this is we can actually use a sort method. The sort method is inside of GraphQL as well, and it allows us to sort by some specific field value. And in our case, the one that we want to sort off of is our front matter, ____ date. And the order that we want it to be in is descending order. Now, if this is confusing, you can actually see this as well inside of GraphQL. So if we were to take our all markdown remarks, and here we check to sort it. Inside of here, we see on our sort that we sort by some field. And if the field that we want to sort by is date, what we have to do is say that it's based off of front matter date. You see right here, this autocomplete ___ date. That's how we access a property that sits inside of an object on the field. Now, after this, we want to sort by the order, and we can do descending or ascending. So that's what it is. So by this, automatically now, this is sorted by descending order. We can double check by checking the front matter date value. And now we see that the latest ones are at the top. So that's all we're doing here. We're just sorting this by this order. Now that we have all of the data, the other thing that we want to do is be able to link to our pages from these components. So what we can do is we can also pluck off the fields and grab the slug from the node itself, because as we know, we've added it in now. One other thing that we might want to do is actually style this page so that it looks a little better. The way that I'm going to suggest you do it is with style components, but you can totally do it with any other styling that you're comfortable with inside of React. So in order to actually add in style components to Gatsby, there is a Gatsby plugin that allows us to add style components really easily to our Gatsby folder. So what we'll do is let's just cancel our server first. And just like before, using the package manager that you've been using up until now, for you, it's either yarn or npm. I'm using yarn, just add in these three packages. So I'm going to say yarn add Gatsby plugin styled components, which is the Gatsby plugin for style components. We need styled components itself. So this is the style components library. And then I need the Babel plugin styled components. So we need these three in order to properly run style components inside of our application. And once it's finished installing, what we're going to do is modify our Gatsby config so that it includes our Gatsby style components plugin. And all we do is we just add it somewhere here. I'm just going to put it right here. And it's going to be our Gatsby plugin styled components. And now we're able to load style components into our application. So what I want to do is write style components for my index.js. Now, in order to use style components, we just need to bring it in. So we are going to import in styled from styled components. And then what we're going to write is we are going to make our blog link. So we've imported in the slug. We now actually need to allow our title to be clickable in that way. Now, the first style component I'm going to make is a blog link. So this is pretty much just us using the style component library wrapping around the link component that we get from Gatsby. And what I'm going to say is I want to apply the styling of having no text decoration. The reason for this is because the link is actually just an A tag with some modifications on it. So in our case, I don't want any of the styling that comes with an A tag. After that, I'm going to use it to actually just wrap around the actual span tag that we have here. So I'm just going to put in my blog link. And this is just going to navigate us to our node.fields.slug. So now our blog link actually points us to our slug field that we have. After that, I'm going to make another one called blog title. And this blog title is just going to be a styled H3. And on this component, I am going to put a, let's just say a margin bottom of 20. Let's actually make it blue as well, just so that we can see the changes. And then I'm going to replace this span with it. Now, if I save and we go back to our application, we'll see that our links are now clickable and they take us to our respective blog post. That's pretty much all that we need to do in order to actually build out our blog. Now, the last thing that you might want to do is host this somehow. Gatsby is actually really great with another service called Netlify. Netlify allows us to host static websites and get continuous development pretty much for free. And the easiest way to do that is you just first instantiate a GitHub repo that you put your code into. So we're just going to make a new repo, and I'm just going to call it new Gatsby blog. I am going to just copy this key. So if you don't have SSH set up, just use HTTPS. It's about the same. And then I'm just going to make sure to run git add -a git commit, adding all our new blog code for Gatsby setup. And then I'm going to git add remote origin and then paste in that key that we just copied. Oh, sorry, git remote add origin and then paste that key. So now that we have our remote origin, I'm going to run git push origin master with the new code that we have. And now that we have this set up, what we're going to do is we simply go to Netlify. Now, on Netlify, you have to sign up. If you haven't signed up, just make sure to do so. Once you've signed up, just make a login. And now it's so incredibly easy to actually set this up. So what you need to do is just make sure that your code is actually on the new site that you've got in your repo. So we see that my code is now inside of my new Gatsby blog repo. And what I'm going to do is just click this new site from Git. I'm going to select GitHub for the continuous deployment option. And it's going to ask to authorize me. Now, you probably have to allow it to authorize you to connect to your GitHub. And what you're going to do is just find the name of your actual repo. Once you have it, you click it. By default, all of these settings should be good. It's going to run the Gatsby build. And once you click deploy, that's it. It's in the process of building and deploying your website. And once your website's finished, it's going to give you the actual link that tells you what your site is hosted to. So let's just wait for our website to finish deploying. Okay, so now that it's finished, we see that we get our URL. We simply click it. And now we are live with our blog. So if you actually want to make any changes, it's super easy because all you do is you just write the code, you push to GitHub, and automatically Netlify will restart and reboot and redeploy your website. So here I actually didn't add in any posts. So what I'm going to do right here is I'm just going to add the word posts. I'm going to save. I'm going to git add added word posts. I'm going to push. And once this pushes up to my GitHub again, if you go back to Netlify, you might actually see when you scroll down here in production deploys that there's this new second tab for another production. So this is actually a list of all of the deployments that are being made. Now yours might say in queued or it might see in progress. Mine just got published. So now if I go back to my blog and I refresh, I see the word up there. So this is awesome because Netlify just immediately gives you continuous development right off the gate with your GitHub account. And it was so simple to set up. So with this, you pretty much have your blog. All the code is written. You can pretty much use style components or any other styling system you want and tackle the coding challenge as you please. So good luck, everybody. And I hope you enjoyed this lesson on how to use Gatsby.